Okay, I'm 18. I run a business from Barcelona, and this is the business model which has allowed me to move out to Barcelona to run my business and enjoy life. I don't really know kind of what I'm going to say, so I'm just going to get into it and talk and explain how I set it up, what I've done, and how you can build a business in the exact same thing. Let's go. Okay, so first things first, I think you've got to be careful when starting a business with all the stuff that's going around online, because pretty much anyone is going to try to sell you any type of business model. When I was getting started with my business, Iman Gadji was very much in the space, and people like him were promoting agencies. Now, agencies are obviously a very broad word for business, and I was always super focused on having an agency. I think what you've got to be open to is there are so many more business opportunities than running an agency. There's so many more more high leverage ones like software, like SaaS that you can get into. But an agency is a good starting point, because what it enables you to do is really explore an industry and get to know an industry. I think the basic progression you should be aiming to make if you want to make as much money as possible in life, is start with an agency and progress into a software product. The reason is because often software products, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but they require a bit of capital to build. They require knowledge to build. You need to know a problem. And what an agency is really, really good at doing is finding problems. You are fixing problems all the time. And if you can solve a specific problem with an agency and solve that 100 times and build a piece of software around that, that's brilliant. And I won't get too much into it, but software products are worth a huge amount more than agencies when it comes to selling. So that's the kind of basic thing I'm going to talk through here. That's the aim I'll be trying to make. But an agency, what the hell is an agency? An agency is something that sells a service-based product, but what could that be? That could be writing LinkedIn posts for someone, that could be doing SEO, that could be doing Facebook ads, it could be building AI products. There are so many things. Where would you focus? Now, research what you want, but I would tell you to look down a very specific avenue, and it's AI, but not just AI. It's no-code development. So no-code development has changed a huge amount recently with products which kind of sit under this term called vibe coding, also known as, you probably have heard of Lovable, Bolt. There are all sorts of different tools which allow you to vibe code. What vibe coding means is we are taking a plain sentence and turning that into a software product. So we can describe a software product and it can be built using AI. So AI coding. Now, this space has grown exponentially in the last 6 months, and where it's going to grow further in the next 6 months is going to be crazy. Essentially what it means is people can do a lot of the work that agencies are already doing. So things like building automations and building AI systems, products like Lovable are going to make this easier and easier to do. So I would just say, understand Lovable, understand where vibe coding is going, and make that the core of your business, because this is huge. Because what it's going to enable people to do is anyone is going to be able to build a software product. Anyone in the world who has an idea is going to be able to build a software product, and we're looking at that in maybe 6-12 months. So this is a skill which is going to be huge. And you might say, well, where is the skill in that? Where is the skill in, if anyone can write a product, where am I needed? Well, this is the thing. This is kind of what I'm doing at the moment, what my agency is based off. It's based off of Lovable. There are so many paths you could go down. Basically, number one at the moment, if you understand prompting AI or want to learn about prompting, prompt engineering, look at that. That is going to be a skill which is never, ever going to go redundant, because that's huge. Prompt engineering. So essentially, people will start building with Lovable and they'll get stuck because it gets a little bit tricky, because people don't actually know how to prompt engineer a prompt when writing to Lovable. So that can be huge. But also, non-technical people who don't understand Lovable, you have the ability to build them a product. And that can come in two forms. That can come as what we call a SaaS product, but also an internal tool. Now, this So a SaaS product basically is, let's say your mum has an idea for an app which helps people. Let's say your mum has an idea for an app which helps people track their calories eating, something like that. And they wouldn't know how to build it. Well, you now have the opportunity to go to them and say, I can build you this app. But more people are going to start finding out about Lovable. There's a huge amount of opportunity there. But I'm just kind of going to go where I am taking my business, because this is where I would recommend. Internal tools. Okay, sounds boring, but why is this so powerful? Let's take a business like a pizza restaurant, okay? So in their business, they are going to use all sorts of different tools. They're going to have something for stock management. They're going to have something for ordering, delivery, whatever. They're going to have something for staff, okay? They're going to have loads and loads of different internal tools. And these tools all are going to be general SaaS products. So someone will have seen an opportunity in the market and gone, okay, let's build a product which makes stock management easier for pizza restaurants. Perfect. They'll be using that. But let's have a look at how an insurance company would run, okay? So an insurance company with 1,000 employees versus a pizza restaurant with 10 employees. An insurance company is able to employ thousands of people, thousands of engineers. So when they have a problem with their business, what they can do is build a product, build a specific product. So, for example, underwriting is a massive part of insurance, and every business does it differently. So they can build and engineer their kind of own AI product and spend £100,000 on doing that. But how about a pizza restaurant? If they have a stock management tool which doesn't quite work right for them, or their staff calendar isn't quite good enough, or the kind of the CRM the founder uses to send out discounts, pizza discounts, it doesn't quite work well enough, they don't have the option to do this. They can't go hire an engineering team and spend £10,000 doing it. And this is where the lucrative opportunity is. We can now enable businesses of all sorts to have fully custom tools. So you can go to a pizza restaurant and look at where the problem is as an agency. Where is the problem? Okay, let's say the problem for one pizza restaurant is in ordering stock, okay? Ordering ingredients, ordering all that sort of stuff. There's no kind of easy way to do it. So you can go to them, okay, I'm going to charge you, bear in mind you could build this with Lovable in an hour, give more or less. So let's say you go charge them £2,000 as a flat fee, $2,000. We're speaking American terms. So you're going to charge $2,000 for this product, okay? And you sell that to one pizza restaurant, fine. You're not a millionaire, but you've got a bit of cash behind you. Then you can go to another pizza restaurant, and you can also say to them, is this something that interests you? Okay, well, you've got a template in Lovable. You can just kind of alter it for the next business, and then you've got £4,000 you've sold a product. And then obviously you go to the next business. Have they got a similar problem? £6,000. But the crazy thing is, if you are selling this to multiple businesses, this isn't even the opportunity, because selling one off is like, just so you can discover the problems. And obviously you're not going to get it first time. And obviously each business will have their own individual problems. And at the start, that's fine. That's what you're here to solve. But as you get further down the line, and you work your way into an industry, like I said here, like this is what the agency model is good for. You work your way, you understand industries, you understand the problems in industries. Then what you can do is go and build a one-time product. So you know what I was talking about? This solution here, going from agency and going to software. That's exactly how you make this move. So you've sold three different products to three different pizza agencies, and you've noticed, these problems are quite similar. Well, the crazy thing is you've built most of that already, so the opportunity now is you can just kind of improve it. We say with a software product, build something which gives 10 times their value, integrate some AI, okay? You've got a bit of cash sitting here. Use that, chuck that in the business. Now you've got a sick product, okay? And not just have you got a sick product, you've done what 99% of people who use Lovable and build a product haven't done, and you found a problem, you found a product market fit, and that's the golden opportunity with any software business, and that's how you make money in software. Okay, so then theoretically you sell this to 100 pizza restaurants, but instead of selling it as a one-off price of £2,000, you're only charging them $50 a month, okay? Now, here we go, $50 a month, and you're selling it to 100 pizza restaurants. You can do the maths there. We're on $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month, okay? Not just is that a good bit of money to make, but you've got to understand how software products are valued. Software products are valued so that £5,000 we'd call MRR, so monthly recurring revenue. But they're actually valued by what they do in a year, which is around, so for this company, it'd be £60,000, right? 5 times 12. Okay, so you've got a company doing £60,000 a year. If your agency was doing £60,000 a year, you might be able to sell that for maybe £100,000. I think you have a 1 to 2 times multiplier on an agency. Depends on a lot of factors, of course. A software has a 4 to 8 times multiplier when you exit. So that means this business is now worth anywhere from $240,000 to $320,000 when you sell. And that is why this is huge. And I think forget all that bullshit you hear about. Start an AI automation business, start this, start that. Like, that is the pathway you need to follow to become a millionaire. And do that a few times. And how easy is that to do with Lovable? Like, that is such an incredible opportunity. So that is it. That's what I'd say in a box, and that's the path you should follow. There's one more little bit I'm going to add. You see this little purple box down here? I just think if you can do this along the same time, this is where you become multi-millionaire, and you build an asset which never leaves your business. Please, as soon as you get into business, I don't care how many days experience you've got, build a personal brand, whether it's on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I know we all want to do it. I know we all say we're going to do it. But if I had built mine sooner, I would be in such a better position. So build a personal brand, because that is the most rewarding asset, and literally an asset that just you cannot beat value in for business. So build a personal brand, document your journey, whatever platform you like, go across a few, start on one, build bigger. And that is a business which I think is going to make a lot of people a millionaire. Hope you enjoyed. Join our school community down below, please, because we share all sorts of Lovable tips, all sorts of Lovable prompts, and kind of ways you can make money off of Lovable. So join it down below. It is completely free to join. It costs you nothing. You'll love it there. We can talk, we can chat. And why don't you subscribe as well? Thank you very much. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.